What if one of humanity's greatest discoveries was actually an accident? You stand on the edge of the last ice, wind carving your face. You are hungry, always hungry. Sweet fruit is rare, precious. This moment is survival, simple and brutal. You find a cluster of berries on the forest floor. They glisten in the weak sun, soft to the touch. You bite. It tastes strange. A warm flicker slides through your chest. Your head clears, then tilts. The world softens. You laugh, louder than you meant to. Someone else laughs too, wordless, curious. This is the beginning, not strategy, not invention, a fortunate mistake. The environment did the work, you only took the risk. Nature made alcohol long before you existed. Fruit falls, it bruises, sugars leak out. Wild yeast rides the air like dust. It lands, it feasts. As yeast eats sugar, it makes something else, alcohol and carbon dioxide. No ceremony, just chemistry and time. Fermentation is an invisible industry. It happens in every warm place where sugar sits. It is older than forests, older than mammals. You are not the first to encounter its effects, but you might be the first to notice the pattern. You taste, you feel, you remember. Curiosity becomes a tool. Animals taught you before you did. Monkeys stumble tipsily through fig trees. Elephants seem dreamier beneath palms fermenting. Birds fall drunk from branches, then shake it off. Your ancestors watched. They borrowed courage from the noisy, clumsy experiments of other species. You learn that fermented fruit exists. You learn it changes behavior. Survival is observation. If animals could find it, you could too. And maybe in some seasons, it was safer to eat fermented fruit than fresh. Fewer predators, fewer parasites. Small doses could be an energy bonus after a long day. Curiosity is dangerous, but it pays. Someone in your group tastes more than once. They share the feeling. Hesitation turns into ritual. You repeat the act. You notice differences. Some fruits hit harder, others barely at all. You begin to experiment. Ripe fruit in a hollow, neck of a gourd, a pile under leaves. Time is the secret ingredient. You don't understand microbes, but you understand cause and effect. Leave the fruit, come back later. Now the effect is consistent. Pattern emerges from chance. This is not magic, it's repeatable. It is power. You start to copy what nature did. Gather sweet things together, crush them with stones. Smell the sweetness turn fermented, a foamy sheen, a sharp tang. You learn patience, you learn containers matter. Shells, hollowed gourds, woven baskets lined with hide. Fermentation becomes less accident, more method. This is the first homemade alcohol. It wins allies, it binds people. A shared bowl passed around a smoky circle. Stories grow louder, hands more certain. The drink becomes part of decisions. Who eats first, who speaks next, who is honored. You carve meaning into the buzz. Then agriculture arrives. Grain fields replace the wild patchwork of fruit. You plant barley, wheat, millet. Starch becomes sugar when chewed or malted. Now you can make beer on demand. Honey becomes mead. Grapes, carefully tended, become wine. Alcohol stops being a seasonal surprise. It becomes a commodity. You store surplus for festivals, for lean winters. Brewing ties to calendars, rites, and power. A leader who controls the brew controls more than thirst. You trade it, tax it, ritualize it. Civilization rises with a goblet in hand. Some argue farming began because of beer, not only bread. Whether true or not, alcohol and agriculture evolve together. Consequences arrive with the warmth. Alcohol heals wounds and dulls pain. It masks thirst and fear. It loosens speech and binds trust. It preserves calories and sometimes safer fluids. But it also sows danger. Too much erodes judgment. Dependence appears in shadows. Rituals formalize control. Priests, brewers, laws. Science later reveals tiny yeast at work. You discover ways to harness the invisible. Temperature, clean vessels, timing. You learn to refine and to punish misuse. Alcohol becomes a tool of cohesion and control. Think about evolution. Your ape ancestors lived in environments where fermented fruit was a constant. Natural selection may have favored those tolerant of tiny doses of alcohol. You inherited a body that can digest it, barely, but enough. You inherited curiosity too. That curiosity drove experiments that stretched into agriculture, ritual, and trade. A single stumble into fermented fruit nudged the arc of human culture. Now imagine the stakes. A bowl of fermented mash can mean celebration. It can mean medicine. It can mean danger. Decisions about it shaped leaders and religions. It shaped economies. It shaped how you gather, how you trust, how you punish. From an accidental sip under a fig tree to cities with taverns and temples, alcohol threaded through survival. It was never just about intoxication. It was about keeping food from spoiling, turning surplus into social glue, and finding new ways to survive a harsh world. You are the heir to that first curious taste. Your world carries the echoes of that stumble. So the next time you lift a glass, remember the forest floor. Remember the warm yeast on sugar. Remember the laughing ancestor who took a risk and changed the game. It began as an accident. It became a craft. It became civilization. And somewhere in that lineage of experiments, you exist, asking, tasting, deciding. The first sip wasn't planned,
but it altered everything.